What's up?
Tis I, your fearless leader, and like last episode, I am very late to the party. I'm going to talk about
Power Up.
Welcome to a brand new walking venom rat that goes nowhere.
A beginning is a very delicate task. Precious substance in the universe is the spice melange.
They're here for the spice. I can sense it.
The Spacing Guild and its navigators, who the spice has mutated over 4,000 years, use the orange spice gas, which gives them the ability to fold space. That is, travel to any part of the universe without moving.
Right, yes! That was absolutely tremendous. I thought I was good.
The spice exists on only one planet in the entire universe. A desolate, dry planet with vast deserts.
Arrakis.
Also known as Dune.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. So yeah, what am I going to talk about when it comes to Dune? Both 1 and 2.
And not going to go into full detail because there's hundreds upon millions upon thousands of video essays.
My thoughts about Dune Part 3, aka Dune Messiah.
It's showtime.
Today's episode is brought to you by...
You know what sativa is?
Sativa, what is that?
So there's 3 types of weed, right?
I only thought there was 2.
Well, there's indica, sativa, which is an upper weed, and then there's a hybrid, which is a combination of both.
No thanks to you. We barely get any views on here because...
The extreme always seems to make an impression.
Anyways, first let's talk about Dune Part 1. It was slow, it was a lot of exposition, the casting was great, it was diverse, but I'll talk about that later.
Everybody got that?
First, we got Timothy Chalamet as Paul Atreides, the main character.
Who in my opinion is perfect in the fact that he's a little whiny little shit you can slap, and that's basically Paul. Or Anakin.
Oh, snap.
You just talked.
And of course there's Paul's parents.
Oscar Isaacs, you know.
Dameron or Apocalypse is Leto the First, which to me,
It is what it is.
I actually like the original one better because it's a guy from Boss Food. I know him from Beer Fest.
And then
Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica, and yeah, by far the best one.
In the original one, I just kept staring at her stupid hair. It wasn't really that hot. I can't really see her being able to manipulate. This one, oh, I can. Jason Momoa, the only Duncan Idaho we'll ever remember, because the original one, he's barely in it. Then there's Dr. Yue, played by an Asian dude.
Personally, I like Dean Stockwell better, but, you know, diversity.
Whatever.
Josh Brolin as Gurney. He's no Patrick Stewart, but he'll do.
I mean, come on.
Captain Picard and Xavier is pretty up there. Yeah, it's a tough one. Thanos Evil and Jonah Hex.
It's kind of similar to...
Two Elvis meets Nixon movies. They had one that was like an indie film. The only big name in that movie was
Booger from fucking Revenge of the...
Then they made Elvis Nixon with Kevin Spacey as Nixon and Michael Shannon as Elvis.
I want to play Kim Fowley.
Yeah, but he's not tall enough to be Kim Fowley. Yes, I knew Kim Fowley.
Get on with it.
Yes, get on with it.
He wasn't as good as the original unknown actor playing Elvis. And that's how I look at Josh Brolin's performance.
Probably somewhat of a bigger name because he's a Nepo baby.
Of course, there's the Mentats, the Atreides one.
Played by, I don't know, looks like an albino black guy.
And the Harkonnen one.
Played by Hooknot Man.
And the character that really stands out the most, our main antagonist.
Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, played by Danny Skarsgård. And
he's always going to be floating. Come on! Yeah, epic and everything. Zack Snyder should take a few notes on it because it's, at least, I had fun. But of course, I watched it during post-COVID and HBO Max, now Max, decided to stream and have theatrical releases of all their movies that year, which that's why Zazzle bought them out. And I disagree with what all the critics say. They're all saying how the first half's good and the second half's lame. I'm the opposite. First half dragged. It felt almost like a TV movie because it's so much exposition. And then as soon as like House Atreides gets like sacked by the Harkonnens, that's when it gets good. And I noticed a lot of callbacks. The shield fight, for example. I think which critics said that it's like they took the best parts of the Lynch movie and best parts of the miniseries on Sci-Fi back in 2000 and they mashed them up and made it more book accurate, and yeah, the only nitpicks of it really is that they gender swapped the kinds. I'm not gonna say race swap. 10,000 years on a desert planet, you're gonna be black too, especially with 2 suns and all that other shit. So yeah, Dune was always woke before woke was a thing.
Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
He started out as a speechwriter and a hardcore environmentalist.
I wrote the Dune series because I had this idea that charismatic leaders ought to come with a warning label on the forehead, may be dangerous to your health.
Nag, 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 nag!
Messiahs and charismatic leaders. I mean, why do 900 people go to Guyana and drink poison Kool-Aid?
Give me a second, I'm gonna sip more of this smart bitch juice.
But he was also homophobic, that's why the Baron was a hardcore pedophile.
I can understand why.
And he'd have little, like, teenage slave boys he would molest and then, like, have his way with.
Wow. It's like with the It movies that they didn't have the child gangbang scene in the sewers.
Get on with it!
Yes! Get on with it!
Dune Part 2, and saw it in the fucking theaters. Hell, the last movie I saw before I saw this movie was fucking Cocaine Bear.
Really?
But enough about that. Dune Part 2 is better than Part 1. They didn't do the time skip, so Aaliyah's not born. Instead, she's in the womb, which I found very weird. And I like how they're doing that, because Lady Jessica, she technically was like the bigger main villain, and Aaliyah being in the womb is the one masterminding it all.
And then, you can put it in a brown paper bag and come put it in my hand, because I'm ready to eat.
Javier Bardem's performance as Stilgar, and the entire time I just kept like quoting Team America.
Durka Allah, Muhammad Jihad.
And another thing I thought was really cool with world building is they separated the North and South Fremen. Hence my big problem with this movie. Fucking Sean.
Listen, my Bonnie and Clyde days are over.
But what do you expect when you have to pander to Zendaya, miss? Person of color always will replace a ginger.
And I don't think realistically she would have been allowed to stay in that group though, because all she did was shit on their way of life and their religion. It's like, okay, so you're here, you're laughing at Paul, who's sitting with his dying mother, you're not even remotely being sympathetic to it, and then you're shitting on the religion. It's like, why would they keep you around? You have to put a basketball every scene.
You know what I want, babe?
What?
Cool guys like you out of my life.
That's another thing I'm gonna wonder about fucking Dune Messiah. How is Leto II and Guyana gonna be born if, like, she hates Paul?
They're completely going off book at this point, so...
Well, no, they still can. He does have mind control powers. Oh, yeah. This is the modern era of Me Too and all that other fucking believe women.
Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
Shit! White straight male, they want to demonize him. Just make Paul even more irredeemable. Just think Jessica Jones with Kilgrave.
You bore me. Leave. Come on.
Other things I actually liked was Austin Butler, you know, the guy who played Elvis in Baz Luhrmann's Elvis.
A little less condensation, a little Harkonnen.
Playing Fade Rotha, Raban's little brother. And let's be real here. Batista's Raban was just
Drax if he never joined the Guardians.
Here's something crazy, right? The original Alejandro Jodorowsky's fuck Dune, he wanted Mick Jagger to play him. So there's always been a tradition of having rock stars play this character. And since there's no modern rock stars, just fake ones, actors who played them. Hell, you might as well get Rami Malek to play. I mean, come on. The original Fade Rotha, barely even in it. I mean, all he's doing is just basically being a younger Barrett. But Austin Butler had better fucking choreography, that's for sure. And what I think is really crazy too is just Gidi Prime. When they finally show it, it's all in black and white because they have a black sun. So basically, on that world, it takes away all color, which is fucking crazy. No! Christopher Walken is the Emperor. I'm kind of disappointed.
Christopher Walken as himself.
Baron, have you ever investigated the South, regions of Arrakis?
What? You thought I was a weird choice to play the Emperor? Come on, I've been preparing since 2001.
But my overall thoughts are, if you want to watch the adaptation one, watch the Sci-Fi Channel one, which you can watch on YouTube, and they even have Children of Dune on there, which has Messiah in there. And before we continue, let's get to today's sponsor. Sativa, which is an upper weed.
Sounds like a hot chick from a Conan the Barbarian movie.
Right. Actually, there's a porn star.
Yeah, no thanks to you. And have you read Messiah?
I'm going to eventually. I don't want to read it yet.
I cheat. YouTuber named Quinn's Ideas, and he literally gives you the entire, like, Dune series.
He used to be called the Ice and Fire guy, but Game of Thrones went to shit, so he decided to rebrand himself to being a Dune guy, which, whatever.
Dune is very important. It's very socially relevant. There's a lot of ideas in Dune that we can apply to today's society.
Now, don't take this too seriously, but I've never quite understood why Dune is so appealing to America.
The spice extends life.
It's a story about an outnumbered group religious fanatics that declare jihad on, yes, that's the actual word used,
The spice expands consciousness.
and overcome a vastly more technologically advanced nation of invaders who have come to mine their homeland's precious resources.
The spice is vital to space travel.
The space. I must have it.
I know that's a huge oversimplification, but you can't ignore the fact that this sounds an awful lot like the war in the Middle East if the USA were the bad guy.
It's basically Cliff Notes.
I can only imagine what it feels like to be Denis Villeneuve.
Oh yeah! I remember when Dune came out, he actually gave a pop review about it that we actually went to go see it because the problem is the quotes of the director, they did not seem good at all. They kept saying things like the focus of the movie is women and shit like that. And then I heard Chris Moore said it was actually good. Fuck yeah! I think the Dune 3 director is burnt out and he doesn't want to do that movie anymore.
But why?
I think from Screen Rant, where he's just cautiously optimistic about everything. They say,
oh, they rush everything, and they might have the movie out by 2027.
But the earliest thing, the realistic perspective is maybe like 2030. And he keeps saying things like he wants to do a project or two in between. I just think he's still burnt out.
Well, duh.
This is what I'm looking forward to for Dune Part 3. One, we get to see Chani die in childbirth. Thank fucking God. It's kind of like when I broke up with my first girlfriend. One of her favorite movies was Casino, and her favorite character was Sharon Stone's character, right? So when I was going through the breakup, every time they show fucking Sharon Stone's character die of an overdose, it was like therapy to me. It's like, thank God, fuck that bitch. It'll be similar to like first episode of House of the Dragon.
It'll be probably the same exact style too.
She's gonna live.
No, she's not gonna live. Do you even know anything about the books? You don't.
I know Hollywood now, that's the problem.
The reason why Villeneuve wants to end with Messiah, shit's way more different because it's no longer Paul's story. It's Leto II and Deanna's story. And Aaliyah's fucking downfall to madness. Like, another thing I'm looking forward to is the return of Duncan Idaho.
But Duncan Idaho is dead, I heard.
They made a clone of him. Or sorry, a Gola, as they call it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
A faction you haven't met yet called the Ixians, who basically are like the tech guys who go against the Butlerian Jihad. They get a face dancer, which is a shapeshifter. Becomes Duncan Idaho. And a Gola is basically a clone, but has all the same memories as the original. And they're supposed to be there to kill Paul, but ends up like not killing Paul. And spoiler, he hooks up with grown-up Aaliyah, Paul's sister, who becomes the Emperor's regent, who goes insane and gets possessed by the Baron.
No, and then.
The other thing I'm looking forward to, and ladies, I know you are looking forward to this too, you get to see Duncan Idaho bang fucking Anna Taylor-Joy. And my ex used to say, Jason Momoa is a wall fucker. So I want to see Jason Momoa wall fuck Anna Taylor-Joy.
Well, I'll certainly bring in some people in the future.
Well, duh.
So that's why it makes sense that Villeneuve is stretching it for another year. That way Charlemagne can fucking age.
I don't think they're going to do a time jump because you didn't cast Timothy Charlemagne to have as an old man.
Not an old man, but in his 30s. And Timothy Chalamet is 25, 26 now. So he'll be about 30 by the time they make that, which is like the right age that Paul's supposed to be. Because Paul's supposed to be, in that first book, he's supposed to be 15.
In 5 years, I'll do a push-up because I'm really tired of the heroes being all twinks these days.
And then I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna put my foot in your ass if you say and then again.
And also fucking Timothy Chalamet going blind and then walking in the desert realizing he fucked up. That's how Messiah ends.
That's depressing.
The idea of the Dune Messiah is basically the Revenge of the Sith and the fall of Anakin Skywalker. It's the deconstruction of the Messiah trope.
And don't forget what keeps you alive and gets you through the day.
Duncan Idaho is in every book. The fourth book got Emperor of Dune. He's there when Leto II becomes the Worm God. He has an entire army of women. I mean, come on. Dune, the big focus is usually women.
Back then it was different though because they were just characters that again just so happen to be women. And now when Hollywood does women, they have to be. Come on!
Dune talks about social engineering, governmental systems, society in general, religion, philosophy.
Ruled by the Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV. My father.
Oh my.
The Bene Gesserit are the real ones behind the scenes doing all the fucked up shit.
Goodbye.
Babe, wait. Babe, wait. Babe, wait. Babe!
But when you say it today, that's when it becomes weird though. Like if I was to say, hey man, we're gonna do an all-female team-up. So yo, the Marvels are doing an all-female team-up. It's like, you know, back then it was cool. Now it's just
its own trope. I'm done with this bullshit. Like, you're not gonna watch this. But if you do like what you see here, comment, like, dislike, share it if you want. I go into more detail, but I'm just trolling you anyway. I mean, after all, you all can suck here. Shout out to my patrons. By the way, that's why Tolkien hated it.